Good morning. Welcome to the News on New Day. We're coming to you live from the John Hammond Street at Kanda here in Accra. My name is Judith Brown. Coming up this morning. Both MPP and NDC flag bearers to file their nominations later today to contest the December 7 polls. We have details as Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, identifies over 1 million overaged meters contributing to the company's inefficiencies. And all is set for the Wale constituency MPP primaries, which had earlier been characterized by violence. Details of these and many more coming up shortly. Please do stay with us. Indeed, we are your election command center. Now let's start with electoral stories, and it's 90 days for Ghanaians to elect a new president and 276 members of parliament. But ahead of that, persons interested in contesting for the presidency and parliament have this week to file their nominations at the Electoral Commission. Here's a News Desk report. I'll bring you that report in a subsequent bulletins. Apologies for that. But we move on to some more stories. And described as the World Bank of the NDC in the northern part of the country, the NDC in the Tamale South constituency is targeting massive wins in the December 7 general elections. Now, speaking on the sidelines of the 2024 campaign launch of the Member of Parliament, Haruna Idrisu, some supporters expressed optimism about achieving this target. Christopher Mwako reports.
Less than 100 days to the 2024 general elections. The political atmosphere is already charged. Here in the Tamale South constituency, Member of Parliament for the Tamale South constituency and former minority leader Haruna Idrisu is launching his campaign today. Now, these are party supporters I'll be interacting with. Now, your opponents, the MPP, have indicated that the Tamale South constituency, though is the World Bank of the NDC in the Northern region, they are poised on taking the seat. What do you make of these statements from your opponents?
They want their people to also to make them calm so that they'll be happy about what they are saying. But Tamale South, I don't think MPP can even get one ballot box in Tamale South as at 2024 we are talking about.
Haruna Idrisu have been to Parliament severally. Don't you think that it's about time he steps down for another person to also come, or because he's doing a lot of development, that's why we think he should continue?
Yes, really. We are voting MPs for development, not for the term of his office that we are voting on. So Haruna Idrisu should continue because of the development that is given to Tamale South and Ghana as a whole.
Yeah, so if we are to talk about the development that Haruna Idrisu and the NDC has brought to the entire northern region, what are some of the things that you can mention?
A lot has been done by His Excellency, by the MP. Because when you look at roads, water, and all that sort of stuff has been done by Haruna Idrisu. And for the target of Haruna Idrisu, about 90,000. We are targeting 90,000. And when you look at the electoral areas we have 22 electoral areas, and all of them are at the NDC.
So for constituents in the Tamale South constituency, they are optimistic that the NDC is bouncing back to power with John Dramani Mahama, and for Haruna Idrisu will win the Tamale South constituency with over 90,000 plus votes. Well, trust your election command center to give you up-to-speed information before, during, and after the 2024 general elections. Christopher Mwako, TV3 News, Tamale.
We stay with some election-related stories, and all seem set for the New Patriotic Party, NPP, to hold a rerun of the Wale parliamentary primary after a Tamale High Court annulled the January primary, citing electoral infractions. Now, supporters of Mahama Tia Kabiru and Hajia Laiba Zuweratu clashed earlier over the weekend, but calm has since restored to the area following heavy security deployment to keep the peace. In January of this year, Dr. Tia Abdul Kabiru Mahama secured 345 votes to defeat incumbent MP Hajia Laiba, who received 338 votes. Hajia Laiba rejected the election outcome and filed an ex parte motion at the Tamale High Court alleging electoral fraud. Oh, let's go to our Northern Bureau Chief William Evans Inkum. He's bringing us details live from the grounds.
Just about a minute ago, we had another development, and that is to say the venue for the primary is likely to change. Well, that is the latest information we are getting from the constituency executive, specifically the regional chairman of the party, that is the Northeast regional chairman of the party, when we spoke to him this morning. We are still not sure exactly where the venue has been changed to. But we are learning that the Pentecost Church, that is what we are learning for now. But we cannot confirm or be specific on that, because he was like, maybe that was the word he used. But originally, this is the place that was actually scheduled for the election to take place. That is the Wale Astroturf Park, as at 12 a.m. this morning. But we are learning of a new development. So we are following it up, and I'm pretty sure in the next couple of minutes we should know the exact place, I mean the venue, or the exact venue that is going to hold this particular election. But we'll also be speaking to the other camp. I'm talking about, of course, I mean the two camps. Dr. Kabiru's camp is not quite happy about the development so far. They are beginning to smell something fishy, but according to the committee, they are also doing everything right just to make sure that it is transparent, fair, and without any, infraction as far as this particular process is concerned. So, Judith, I'm pretty sure that in the next couple of minutes, we should know exactly which venue is going to hold this particular primary. But as I said earlier, this venue originally was scheduled to hold the primary, and the reason why we are here. But as you can see, it is currently under lock. So we are coming back with the very latest of updates. Back to you, Judith.
Well, many thanks for your time. That was my colleague William Evans Inkum bringing us live updates from the Wale constituency right there. But let's move back or return to the camp of the NDC. And the flag bearer of the NDC, John Dramani Mahama, has affirmed that any attempt to subdue the will of Ghanaians will not be forgiven. Wrapping up his first day of campaign in the Bono region, the former president demanded an audit of the voters' register.
So the NDC, through its election directorate, has been on the case of the Electoral Commission over the alleged transfer of votes. Despite the initial denial, the EC has admitted it. Currently, the NDC is engaging the EC on how to solve the situation. The party alleged hundreds were illegally transferred. The flag bearer of the party has been taking the fight to the EC.
Ni si 2020 no besi biom enti sanyo manu ne ekase men si biom.
We don't want a repeat of what happened in 2020.
And now make us say enti say about 2020 and
the people of Ghana are wide awake. If the happenings of 2020 occur again, I cannot guarantee the peace of the country. Because we as an NDC will not want anyone to cheat us, the same way we do not want to be cheated.
On the first day of his 4-day tour of the Bono region, John Mahama canvassed for votes in Wenchi, Badu, Tyne and Sunyani West, with a new affection for the NDC as its handlers have described as the most attractive party in the country with a reset agenda. Spokesperson for John Mahama, Joyce Bar Mukhtari, says the country only requires a rescue from the snare of the MPP.
There can be no reason why we would continue to maintain such an inept government that does absolutely nothing that benefits the citizens. Look, only a few people benefit from the proceeds of Galamsey, not many. And yet the community and the polluted waters will affect many of us for the next how many years?
In Chira, the chief was worried about the electoral process.
Supreme Court, can say, better a bar, but when in the police station.
The Supreme Court says elections are won at a polling station. You need to put people who will be alert and police the polls. You must put people of substance there who will ensure there is no rigging, because at the end, we need one peaceful country.
Decent election.
John Mahama again says the NDC will not countenance any attempt by any group of individuals to subvert the will of the people. Komla Kluchem, TV3 News, Sunyai.
Now, away from elections, the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, has identified over 1 million meters that are overaged and contributing to the company's inefficiencies. Managing Director of the ECG, Samuel Dubik Mahama, maintains that the new smart meters are not designed to overcharge ordinary power consumers, but accurately reflect actual consumption. Christian Yale reports that concerns among the public are still rife as the cost of living crisis escalates.
Frustration, emotions and complaints have greeted the Electricity Company of Ghana's new drive to introduce smart meters. Despite several explanations on the need for the digitized meters, customers have opposed the move, citing issues such as overbilling and disconnection of meters without prior notice. The ECG says it has identified over 1 million meters that are either outdated or not functioning properly, contributing to its losses. Managing Director of the company, Samuel Dubik Mahama, explains that most of ECG's inefficiencies are found in the old metering system, which is a key reason for the change.
We have identified over 1 million plus meters that are overaged and are not performing well. One of the things about digitizing is that it brings out your inefficiencies. Under the Know Your Customer drive, the times we are identifying customers that are not on our network, yet they are consuming. We are trying to plug the loopholes in the system gradually and consistently.
Although he cannot specify the cost to replace the obsolete meters, Dubik Mahama says the new drive has already helped ECG reduce its losses by nearly 27%.
If you're given a new meter and you owe, that means you were on a post-paid meter. So you were naturally not paying your bills. We do admit that those on the post-paid do not receive bills constantly. Now, aside that, this MMS platform allows us pure visibility and the GPS and the geocodes of the location of the meter. In fact, we have people who envisage that they will steal. So even when they were building their homes, they built the bypass in the walls. So you can get to a home, you are checking, only to realize that about 3 or 4 air conditions don't go through the meter.
Complaints on social media are widespread, with a group of private legal practitioners considering a class action and aiming to gather more than 100 signatures.
The nature of the overbilling we are experiencing appears to be an electronic problem with ECG itself, and not per se a mathematical error. If we don't get appropriate remedy from the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission within reasonable time, we will either compel the ECG by a mandamus application or all other alternative remedies that we can get.
In 2022, ECG admitted that some prepaid meters, including both Alpha and eCash, were not accurately responding to power purchases due to data functionality issues in these meters. But on hot issues, Samuel Dubik Mahama explained why people might believe they are being overbilled.
If your wiring or the earthing in the home is bad, you would lose it. It will be reading consumption on the meter. If I may ask, do you know the percentage increment in tariff right now?
What is it?
It's 75% plus. And there's been quarterly adjustments. So yes, the tariff is high.
Facing revenue shortfalls and debt owed to independent power producers, these smart meters, despite public opposition, could help the power distribution company address its challenges. Christian Yale, TV3 News.
Now, pressure is mounting on the flag bearers of the New Patriotic Party and the National Democratic Congress to make illegal mining a top priority when any of them win power. International evangelist Dr. Lawrence Tete, who made the call, said lives of citizens have been threatened by the illegal menace and must be addressed quickly.
With illegal mining or galamsey plaguing the country, there is persistent call for the government to act quickly. At the launch of the National Emerging Leaders Economic Forum slated for September 23, renowned evangelist Dr. Lawrence Tete called for accountability.
Galamsey can be stopped. Anybody who says Galamsey cannot be stopped is a liar. We are just not walking the talk. If we begin to walk the talk and we do the right thing, if we are able to stay at home during COVID, mosques were not open, churches were not open, ashrams were not open, fetish priests could not even go to the fetish shrine during COVID, then we can stop galamsey.
Founder of NELEV, Daniel Asmani, said the program aims to spark a movement to reshape economic landscape.
It is our opportunity to empower the youth of our nation and equip them with the requisite knowledge and skills to thrive, and to give them a voice in shaping the future of our beloved country. We will delve into the challenges confronting our nation, from climate change and technological disruption to inequality and social injustice. We are all involved.
Now, the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, DVLA, will, by the end of the year, introduce new vehicle registration number plates. Now, Board Chair of the authority, Frank Davis Esquire, stated that the new plates will be equipped with more advanced security features to guarantee safety.
After 25 years of existence, the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, DVLA, continues to play a critical role in road safety in the country. The implementation of digital reforms to limit human interaction and middlemen, also known as Goro Boys, in the acquisition of driver's licenses and roadworthy certificates has yielded appreciable results. However, the DVLA is considering further reforms to enhance ownership and safety of road users and vehicles. Key among the proposed reforms is the introduction of securitized license plates. Frank Davis Esquire, Board Chair of DVLA, is confident that the reform will be operational by the end of the year.
The securitized license plates has been a little bit of a challenge for now, but we intend to roll it before the end of the year. Everything that we have to do for its launch is ready. There are just a few knots to tie, cross the T's and dot the I's, and we'll be good to go. By the end of the year, we should have new securitized license plates, and you see for yourselves in this country. So yes, we'll do it before we leave office.
Members of the public seeking to acquire driver's licenses who cannot read or write have been accommodated in the new reforms.
People who unfortunately are unable to speak the language, most often are not able to take the computer-based test because it is in English. And it is a test that checks the competency of anybody before they attempt to drive. And so this gap we are trying to fill by introducing six Ghanaian languages. And also they wouldn't just come and read the six, because if you can't read English, you cannot read Chi or Ga or anything. And so this time we are going to use headphones and voice over. So the language, the question will be read to you in the language that you understand in your ear, and then you will be required to respond by pointing or to the right answer on the screen.
Well, let's end with the latest updates in sports. And 22 players trained on Sunday as the Black Stars took to the pitches at the Mechanic Football Academy in preparation for their Africa Cup of Nations qualifier against Niger. The squad was reduced to 22 after defender Jerome Opoku dropped out on Saturday due to injury. Winger Joseph Painsil, who plays for Los Angeles Galaxy in the Major League Soccer, was left in Accra to sort out his passport issues, leaving Otuado with 22 players for the clash today. Now, the game against Niger is scheduled for the Municipal Sports Complex in Bakani at 3 p.m. today. Well, that's our wrap up the 6 a.m. news right here on TV3. My name is Judith Brown. We'll go for a short break. We're back with the rest of Media. Good morning.